Hello students, welcome to another section of topological space, which is continuity and related concepts. Okay, so we all know what is the definition of continuous function in metric spaces. Suppose x d1 and y d2 be any two arbitrary metric spaces, and if is a function from x to y, then we say that the function is continuous only when a distance between any two points in the domain is less than delta, implies there is some epsilon greater than 0 such that distance between the corresponding images in capital Y in the range space will be less than epsilon. But you all know there is no distance concepts in topological spaces. So we have to define another definition for continuity in topological spaces. Okay. So the definition says that let f is a mapping from x to y, be any function. x0 is a point in capital X and tau comma u be topologies on x and y respectively. Then f is said to be continuous at a point x0 if for every open set V contains f of x0 in capital Y, comma, there exists an open set U of x0 in capital X such that f of u is contained in V. So this is the basic definition of continuity in topological space. Okay, what this definition says? Suppose we have a topological space x tau and one more topological space yu. X tau and yu be two topological spaces, and we define a mapping f from x to y. Okay, we say that this function f is continuous at a point. Continuous is defined at a point. x0 is a point. F is said to be continuous at x0 if we consider an open set V containing the point f of x0. Since x0 is here, f of x0 will be in the range space. Suppose f of x0 is here, then you consider any open set V in capital Y which containing f of x0. Okay, open set V in Y means this V will be belongs to this U. V will be belongs to U because members in the topologies are called open sets. So V is open in Y means V must be belongs to U. Okay, so if we consider any open set V containing the point f of x0, correspondence to this open set, there will exist another open set U in capital X. There will exist another open set U in capital X containing the point x0 such that if we consider the image of U means image of set of all points in that open set. So that f of u will be here. That f of u will be this one. Okay, so we get f of x0 is a point in capital Y. Okay, we say that function f is continuous at a point x0 if we consider any open set V containing the point f of x0. There will exist another open set U in capital X. U in capital X open means U belongs to tau. There will exist U belongs to tau such that f of u, the image of set of all points in U, f of u will be contained in V. Vക്ക് ഉള്ളിലാണ് f of u contain ചെയ്യുന്നത്. മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടോ? വിക്ക് ഉള്ളിൽ എഫ് ഓഫ് യു കണ്ടെയ്ൻഡ് ആണെങ്കിലാണ് നമ്മൾ ആ ഫംഗ്ഷൻ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആണ് അറ്റ് എ പോയിന്റ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് എന്ന് പറയത്തുള്ളൂ. സോ എഫ് ഇസ് ടു ബി കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് അറ്റ് എ പോയിന്റ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് ഇഫ് എഫ് ഓഫ് യു വിൽ ബി കണ്ടെയ്ൻഡ് ഇൻ വി. ക്ലിയർ? So remember, there is no distance concept in topological space. Therefore, we need to define the continuity of any property in topological space. We need to define using open sets. Okay. Now we have a proposition which is properties of continuous function. So let x tau and yu be topological spaces and f is a mapping from x to y be any function. Then the following are equivalent. There is three statements. First one, f is continuous at x0. x0 is any arbitrary point in capital X. Second one, the inverse image of every neighborhood of f of x0. f of x0 will be here, the range space. So if we consider any neighborhood, not open set, any neighborhood of f of x0 in Y, its inverse image is a neighborhood of x0 in capital X. And third one, for every subset A of x, x0 belongs to a closure implies f of x naught belongs to f of a whole closure. So we need to prove that these three statements are equivalent. So I will prove 1 implies 2, 2 implies 3 and 3 implies 1. Okay. So for the proof, assume the condition 1. That means f is continuous at x naught. We need to prove that inverse image of every neighborhood of f of x naught in y is a neighborhood of x naught in capital X. So let n be a neighborhood of f of x naught in capital Y. So we arbitrarily choose a neighborhood n of f of x naught in capital Y. Okay. We consider the topological space Yu. We consider the point image f of x naught, and you take any neighborhood n of f of x naught in Y. Okay. We need to prove that its inverse image will be, this is the function f, which is a mapping from x tau to yu. So its inverse image will be here, f inverse of n. We need to prove that this f inverse of n is a neighborhood of the point x naught. We need to prove that this inverse image of n is the neighborhood of x naught in capital X. Okay, the same idea of continuity, but using the neighborhoods. Okay, so for that I consider let n be a neighborhood of f of x naught in capital Y. Okay, then we need to prove f inverse of n is a neighborhood of x naught in capital X. Now, since n is a neighborhood of f of x naught, by the definition of neighborhood, I can say that, there exists an open set V in Y such that f of x naught belongs to V, and that V is contained in n. That V will be contained in n. This is nothing but by the definition of neighborhood. If n is a neighborhood of a point f of x naught, in between that point and a neighborhood there will exist an open set in the corresponding topology. Okay, so V in open in Y. Open in Y means V belongs to U. Okay, this is the open set V in Y means actually V belongs to U, since U is the topology on Y. So we have f of x naught belongs to V, and that V is contained in n. Okay, so which implies, what is V? V is an open set. So which implies V is an open set containing f of x naught. So what is the meaning? If open set containing a point f of x naught means that f of x naught is an interior point of V. So now we have a topological space Yu, and we have a point f of x naught, and we have a neighborhood capital N of f of x naught, and now we get an open set V of f of x naught which is contained in capital N. So you can see that V is an open set containing the point f of x naught. And what is we have assumed? F is a function which is continuous at x naught. F x naught il continuous aanennu nammal assume cheyidittunde. Since our function f is continuous at x naught for any by the definition of continuity, for any open set of f of x naught, here V is an open set of f of x naught, there will exist an open set U in capital X of the point x naught such that f of u will be contained in V. Clear? Since V is which implies V is an open set containing f of x naught. Okay, since f is continuous at x naught, by definition of continuity, corresponding to the open set V, there exists an open set U of point x naught in capital X such that by the definition f of u will be contained in V. So since f of u is contained in V, implies u will be contained in f inverse of V. Since f of u is contained in V, u will be contained in f inverse of V. And now we have V is contained in N. We have V is contained in N. Since V is contained in N, f inverse of V will be contained in f inverse of N. Okay, f inverse of V will be contained in f inverse of N. So we have here u is contained in f inverse of V, and this f inverse of V is contained in f inverse of N. So which together implies u will be contained in f inverse of N. So which implies x naught is a point in u, comma, and that u is contained in f inverse of N. So we have a point x naught in u, and u is contained in f inverse of N. So which implies what is u? U is an open set. So in between a point and a set, there is an open set u containing that point x naught. Therefore, which implies f inverse of N is a neighborhood of x naught. ശരിയല്ലേ? നോക്കി, എഫ് ഇൻവേഴ്സ് ഓഫ് എൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സെറ്റ്, അത് ആ സെറ്റിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിലുള്ളൊരു പോയിൻ്റാണ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് അല്ലേ? വൈ? സിൻസ് വി ഹാവ് എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് എവിടെയുണ്ട്? വി ഹാവ് എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് ബിലോങ്സ് ടു എൻ, because we have chosen that n is a neighborhood of f of x naught. So f of x naught must be belongs to capital N. Since f of x naught belongs to capital N, x naught will be belongs to f inverse of N. Okay, so x naught is a point of f inverse of N. Okay, and that in between this point and a set, there is an open set u. So which implies that f inverse of N is a neighborhood of f of x naught. F inverse of N is a neighborhood of x naught. Okay, so since n is arbitrary, every inverse image of every neighborhood of f of x naught is a neighborhood of x naught. So 1 implies 2 will be true. Now we go to 2 implies 3. So for that we need to assume the second condition. That means this same statement, inverse image of every neighborhood of f of x naught is a neighborhood of x naught. We need to prove that the third condition. The third statement. What is the third statement? For every subset a of x, comma, if x naught belongs to a closure, then f of x naught belongs to f of a the whole closure. x naught a ക്ലോഷറിലുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ഇമേജ് എഫ് ഓഫ് എയുടെ ഹോൾ ക്ലോഷറിലാണെന്ന് നമ്മൾ പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യണം. ഓക്കെ, so for that assume 2. So second statement is true. We need to prove that if x belongs to a closure, then f of x belongs to f of a the whole closure for every a subset of capital X. This is we need to prove. So let x naught is a point in a closure. X naught is a point. If x naught belongs to a closure, then f of x naught belongs to f of a whole closure. Okay. So let x naught belongs to a closure. We need to prove that f of x naught belongs to f of a whole closure. We assume the contrary. That means, suppose f of x naught belongs to this closure, we will arrive a contradiction. Okay. So which is, so let x naught belongs to a closure, comma, if possible, f of x naught not belongs to f of a whole closure. f of x naught ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടെന്നാണ് പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്, ഇല്ലെന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ എടുക്കുന്നു. സോ f of x naught not belongs to f of a whole closure. So a point not belongs to closure of a set means which is not a which is not a limit point of this set. അല്ലേ, നമുക്കറിയാം ഒരു സെറ്റിൻ്റെ ക്ലോഷറിൽ ഒരു പോയിൻ്റ് ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം ആ പോയിൻ്റ് എവിടെയായിരിക്കാം? അതിൻ്റെ ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് ആണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് പറയാം. ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻറ്റ്സിനെ ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണല്ലോ ക്ലോഷർ. സോ ഒരു പോയിൻ്റ് ഒരു ക്ലോഷറിൽ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ആ പോയിൻ്റ് എന്തായിരിക്കും? ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഇഫ് f of x naught not belongs to f of a closure means f of x naught cannot be a limit point of f of a. Okay, if f of x naught is a limit point of f of a, then f of x naught must be belongs to f of a whole closure, because a closure is a set which contains all of its limit points. Okay, so which implies f of x naught cannot be a limit point of f of a. So a point is not a limit point of f of a means there will exist a neighborhood of f of x naught which does not intersect with the f of a. ശരിയാണോ? വൈ? ഒരു പോയിൻ്റ് ഒരു സെറ്റിൻ്റെ ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് ആവണമെങ്കിൽ ആ പോയിൻറ്റിനെ കണ്ടെയ്ൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഏത് നെയ്ബർഹുഡ് എടുത്താലും അത് എഫ് ഓഫ് എനെ ഇൻ്റർസെക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പോൾ ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് അല്ലെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ? ഏതോ ഒരു നെയ്ബർഹുഡ് അവിടെ ഉണ്ട് എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ടിൻ്റെ, അത് എഫ് ഓഫ് എയുമായിട്ട് ഇൻ്റർസെക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല എന്നാണ് മീനിങ്. സോ എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് ഈസ് എ ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് ഓഫ് എഫ് ഓഫ് എ മീൻസ് for every open set, for every neighborhood containing f of x naught which will intersect with image of a, f of a. So which is not a limit point means, which implies with an actually negation statement of the definition of limit point, there exists a neighborhood of f of x naught such that there exists a neighborhood, I choose capital N, okay, there exists a neighborhood capital N of f of x naught such that that neighborhood will not be intersect with f of a. So their intersection will be empty. Intersect ചെയ്യില്ല എന്നാണ് പറയണത്. ചെയ്താൽ ലിമിറ്റ് പോയിൻ്റ് ആയി. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ചെയ്യാത്ത രീതിയിൽ ഒരു നെയ്ബർഹുഡ് എക്സിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ദാറ്റ് നെയ്ബർഹുഡ് ഈസ് ചോസൺ ആസ് ക്യാപിറ്റൽ N. Therefore N intersection f of a will be equal to empty. Now this n and f of a will be clearly contained in y, okay, because n is a neighborhood of f of x naught. So f of x naught must be belongs to capital Y, the range space. Therefore n and f of a are clearly subsets of y. Okay, so I apply what will happen to inverse image of n intersection f of a. So which is equal to f inverse of empty set, that is clearly empty. So which implies f inverse of n intersection f inverse of f of a equal to empty. So f inverse of n intersection, this is actually a which is contained in a. Therefore f inverse of n intersection a will be equal to empty. So which implies actually we have n, since n is a neighborhood of f of x naught. Here there exists a neighborhood n of f of x naught means n is a neighborhood of f of x naught, and we have assumed the second statement of the theorem, proposition, so which says that if n is a neighborhood of f of x naught, then its inverse image is a neighborhood of x naught. So by assumption f inverse of n is a neighborhood of x naught. So here f inverse of n intersection a equal to empty, which means f inverse of n is a neighborhood of x naught, which implies f inverse of n is a neighborhood of x naught which does not intersect with the capital A. So I can say that x naught cannot be a limit point of capital A. Whenever x naught is a limit point of capital A, every neighborhood of x naught must intersect with the capital A. Here we have a neighborhood of x naught which does not intersect with the capital A means x naught is not a limit point. X naught is not a limit point of capital A. So x naught is not a limit point of capital A means x naught cannot be belongs to a closure, because whenever x naught is a limit point, then must be belongs to a closure. So if it is not a limit point, that cannot be go to its closure. Therefore, x0 cannot belongs to a closure. So which is a contradiction. Why? We are started from x0 if x0 belongs to a closure. That is our first assumption. So now we have x0 not belongs to a closure, which is not possible, which is a contradiction to our assumption. Therefore, whenever x0 belongs to a closure, f of x0 must be belongs to f of a whole closure. If it is not true, we will get a contradiction. We will arrive at a contradiction. Therefore, x0 belongs to a closure implies f of x0 will be belongs to f of a whole closure. So the third statement will be true. Therefore, 2 implies 3 will be proved. Okay. Now we prove the last part of this proposition. That is 3 implies 1. That means when x0 belongs to a closure implies f of x0 belongs to f of a closure, where A is a subset of capital X is true, we need to prove that the first statement, that is f is continuous at x0. So what is 3 says that for every A subset of x, x0 belongs to a closure implies f of x0 belongs to f of a the whole closure is true. Then we need to prove that. So assume this condition. Assume for every A subset of x, x0 belongs to a closure implies this condition will be true. We have to prove that f is continuous at x0. Okay. So how can you prove that a function is continuous at x0? We will evaluate the definition of continuity at the point x0. So the definition says that f is continuous at x0 only when, if we consider any open set V containing its image f of x0, there exists an open set U of x0 such that f of U is contained in V. So that's the definition. So for that, let V be an open set containing its image f of x0. Let V be an open set containing the point f of x0. We need to prove that there is an open set U containing the point small x0 in capital X such that f of U is contained in V. This is we have to prove. So for that, I define a set. Let capital A equal to x minus f inverse of V. It is nothing but the complement of f inverse of V. Since V is an open set of f of x0 in capital Y, we can consider its inverse image f inverse of V that will be clearly contained in capital X. Okay, so this is a set in capital X. So you can think about the complement of that set f inverse of V. So which is defined as capital A. Okay, A equal to x minus f inverse of V. And what is this x? X can be written f inverse of y, because we have f is a mapping from x to y. Since f is a function, by the definition and the actual statement of function says that f is a map only when it maps every element of x into a unique element in capital Y. Okay, so what will be the inverse image of y? Inverse image of y is nothing but set of all elements in capital X such that f of x belongs to capital Y. So which is nothing but capital X whole x itself. Okay, so x can be written f inverse of y. ശരിയല്ലേ നോക്കൂ, എഫ് എക്സിൽ നിന്ന് വൈയിലേക്കുള്ള മാപ്പിംഗ് ആണെങ്കിൽ എക്സിലുള്ള എല്ലാ പോയിൻറ്റ്സിനും ഇമേജ് ഉണ്ടാവണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ആവില്ല. സോ എക്സിലുള്ള എല്ലാ പോയിൻറ്റ്സിനും ഇമേജ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇമേജ് സെറ്റിൻ്റെ ഇൻവേഴ്സ് എന്തായിരിക്കും? ആക്ച്വലി ഇത് കോഡൊമൈൻ്റെ ഇൻവേഴ്സ് എന്തായിരിക്കും? ഏതൊക്കെ എലമെൻറ്റ്സ് ആണോ മാപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ആരൊക്കെയാണ് അത്? ഇവരെല്ലാവരും വേണം നിർബന്ധമായിട്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അത് ഫംഗ്ഷൻ ആവില്ല. സോ എഫ് ഇൻവേഴ്സ് ഓഫ് y will be clearly capital X since f is a mapping, it is a function. So this can be written f inverse of y minus f inverse of v. So which together can be written f inverse of y minus v. F inverse of y minus v. So this is our capital A. I take capital A equal to f inverse of y minus v. Okay. So since A equal to f inverse of y minus v, f of A will be clearly contained in y minus v. Alley, f of A will be contained in y minus v. Okay. So what about its closure? F of A closure. If A is contained in B, then A closure will be contained in B closure. So f of A contained in y minus v implies f of A whole closure will be contained in y minus v, y whole closure. And what is this V? V is an open set in capital Y. Since V is open in Y, y minus v is nothing but its complement. Y minus v is nothing but complement of v in Y. So since v is open, its complement will be closed. Okay. So what is y minus v? Since v belongs to u, v is open means v belongs to u. V belongs to u implies y minus v will be closed in Y. Because it is nothing but its complement. Complement of a open set is closed. So y minus v is closed set. Okay. Then what is the closure of a closed set? Closure of a closed set is itself. So I can say that f of a whole closure. So we have f of a whole closure is contained in y minus v whole closure. Since y minus v is closed, y minus v closure is nothing but y minus v. Or set in the closure, a set closed anengil adu thanne aayirikkum. So f of a whole closure will be contained in y minus v itself. Y minus v itself. Okay. Now suppose this is equation number 1. Okay. Now we have f of x naught belongs to capital V because why? Because V is an open set containing the point f of x naught. To prove the continuity, we chosen that V is an open set containing the point f of x naught. Corresponding to this V, we need to construct an open set U such that f of u is contained in V. This is our motive. Okay, so we have f of x naught belongs to V. So which implies f of x, whenever f of x naught belongs to V, that cannot be belongs to its complement. A point cannot belongs to a set and its complement at a time. Okay. So f of x naught belongs to V means it cannot be belongs to its complement. Its complement is y minus V because V is in Y. V is a set subset in Y. So its complement is y minus V. Okay. So f of x naught belongs to y minus V. So yes, point is not belongs to y minus V means f of x naught cannot be belongs to f of A closure. Why? Because f of A closure is contained in y minus V. This is y minus v. Okay. And this is f of A closure. Ready? So this is the inclusion we have. F of A closure contained in y minus v. And now we have a point f of x naught belongs to v. Since this is y minus v, v will be its complement. So f of x naught is a point belongs to v. So f of x naught cannot be belongs to this set y minus v. Okay. So f of x naught cannot be belongs to y minus v means that cannot be belongs to f of A closure also because it is outside of y minus v. Therefore, f of x naught cannot be belongs to f of A whole closure. Okay. So which implies, actually we have the assumption that whenever x naught belongs to A closure implies f of x naught belongs to f of A whole closure. This is our assumption, third statement actually. So this is a statement, suppose this is a statement P and this is Q. So this is P implies Q. Okay. So whenever the statement P implies Q is true, negation Q implies negation P will be also true because these two statements are equivalent in logic. P implies Q is true means negation Q implies negation P will be true because P implies Q and negation Q implies negation P are two equivalent logical statements. Okay. So negation Q implies negation P is true means what will be true? This is our statement Q. Okay. So negation Q means f of x naught, its negation not belongs to f of A whole closure implies negation P. P is this, so its negation is x naught not belongs to A closure. So from our assumption, we are not going to apply this statement directly. We are using this one. Negation Q implies negation P. So negation Q implies negation P will be true by our assumption. And it says that f of x naught not belongs to f of a whole closure implies x naught not belongs to a closure. Okay. So by our assumption, comma, x naught cannot be belongs to a closure. X naught cannot be belongs to a closure. Then by above, or same thing, x naught cannot be belongs to a closure of a set means it is cannot be a limit point of that set. So which implies x naught is cannot be a limit point. It's not a limit point of A. So it is not a limit point of A mean by the negation statement of its definition, whenever it is a limit point, every neighborhood will intersect with A. It is not a limit point means there will exist a neighborhood of x naught which does not intersect with the capital A. So there exists a neighborhood n of x naught such that n intersection A will be empty. So n intersection A is empty means A intersection B equal to empty means A is contained in x minus A. So the same thing, n is contained in x minus A. ഒന്നും മറ്റൊന്നിൻ്റെ കോംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റിലാകുമ്പോഴാണ് അവർ നമ്മൾ ഇൻ്റർസെക്ഷൻ എം ടി ആവുന്നത്. സോ എൻ ഇൻ്റർസെക്ഷൻ എ ഈക്വൽ ടു എം ടി മീൻസ് എൻ വിൽ ബി കണ്ടെയ്ൻഡ് ഇൻ ഇറ്റ്സ് എ കോംപ്ലിമെൻറ്റ് ദറ്റ് ഈസ് എക്സ് മൈനസ് എ. So which implies n is contained in x minus what is A? A is a set. We define that. So this is we defined A equal to x minus f inverse of v, which is same as A equal to f inverse of y minus v. So I apply here A equal to f inverse of y minus v. Okay. So which implies n is contained in f in this x can be rewritten as f inverse of y by the same condition of function minus f inverse of y minus v. So which implies n is contained in together implies f inverse of y minus v. So n is contained in f inverse of y minus v is v complement the whole complement. So complement the whole complement is set itself. So which implies when n is contained in f inverse of v, f of n will be contained in v. F of n will be contained in v. Okay. Now, നമുക്കിതൊന്നും അല്ല ആവശ്യം. We want an open set u of x naught such that f of u is contained in v, which is for continuity of f at x naught. So we have f of n is contained in v now. Now we need to define an open set u in capital X. U equal to n interior. What is this n? N is actually a neighborhood of x naught. N is a neighborhood of x naught and I choose a u equal to n interior. Okay. So what is actually the benefit of choosing u equal to n interior? We know that n is simply a neighborhood of x naught. In topology, neighborhood is not required to be open. It may be closed. Okay. So if we choose u equal to n interior, clearly interior of a set is always open. So if we choose u equal to n interior, u will be open, which implies u is open. Okay. Since interior of a set is always open, so u will be open. Okay. And we have x naught is a point in capital N because n is a neighborhood of x naught. Okay. And we know that interior of a set is always contained in therefore x naught is a point is also belongs to u. So which implies x naught is a point belongs to u and u is clearly an open set, which implies u is an open set containing x naught. Now we need only prove that f of u is contained in v for the continuity of the function f at x naught. Okay. So I will continue here. So which implies u is an open set containing f of x naught. Now we have f of n is contained in v. we have interior of a set is always contained in itself. So if this interior is u, okay, so f of u will be contained in f of n. Okay, എന്തെങ്കിലും f അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്തു അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ. So what is f of n? F of n is contained in v. So f of u will be contained in v because f of n is contained in v. So hence the proof. That means that is for every open set v of f of x naught, നമ്മളിവിടെ തുടങ്ങിയത് എഫ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ടിനെ കണ്ടെയ്ൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഏത് ഓപ്പൺ സെറ്റ് വി എടുത്താലും ദർ എക്സിസ്റ്റ് ആൻ ഓപ്പൺ സെറ്റ് യു. യു ഈസ് നത്തിങ് ബട്ട് എൻ ഇൻറ്റീരിയർ യു ഓഫ് എക്സ് നോട്ട് സച്ച് ദാറ്റ് എഫ് ഓഫ് യു ഈസ് കണ്ടെയ്ൻഡ് ഇൻ വി, വിച്ച് ഇംപ്ലൈസ് എഫ് ഈസ് കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് അറ്റ് എക്സ് നോട്ട്. So the statement 3 implies 1 will be true. Therefore all the 3 statements in the proposition will be equivalent. Okay.